Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about another metric which can be used for faster calculation. Here we are talking about multiplying any two-digit numbers together without using a calculator. For example, if I have 41 and I want to multiply by 21. So how will I do this multiplication? So in that case, first I'll multiply these two numbers together. So 1 into 1 is equal to 2. So I'll write a 2 here. Then I will multiply these two numbers together. So 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So I will write a 8 here. And then I'll multiply across. So 4 into 1 plus 2 into 1. That will give me 4 plus 2 is 6. So I'll get a 6 here. So that is my answer. So 862. Let's try another example. If I have 32 and I want to multiply it by 12, so how will I do that? 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 1 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. So answer is 384. So these were easier examples. So now we have to understand that when we multiply 2 into 2, we can only assign one digit to it. So it's only one digit. If I have anything more than two digit, then we have to take a carryover, and same goes for this. So we have to take only one digit. So let's take an example of carryover. If I have 64 and I want to multiply by 81, then how will I do that? In that case, you can see that 4 into 1 is 4, so that's fine. But 6 into 4, 6 into 8 is 48, that is also fine. But when we do 6 into 1 is 6 and 8 into 4 is 32. 32 plus 6, so we have 8 into 4, that is equal to 32, right? And 6 into 1 is 6. So if we add them together, it's 38. So we cannot fit 38 here, we can only use 8 here, and the 3 has to go on the top. So the answer will be equal to 5184. So this is an example of a carryover. So let's take another example. If I have 69 and I'm multiplying by 48, then how will I do that? In that case, 9 into 8 is 72. I'll write 2 and 7 as a carryover. 6 into 4, 6 4 is 24. We write a 24 here. 4 into 9 is 36. So 36, and 6 into 8 is 48. 48. 36 plus 48 is 86 plus 4, so 4, and it's 84. So answer is 4 here and 8 here, so that will be 2, no sorry, so 8 plus 24 is 32, and 4 plus 7 is again a two-digit number, so it's 11. So 1 will again go here, and then 2, so that will give us 3312. So that will be our answer. So this was one of the most difficult example. So I hope this trick helps, and I'll see you again in another math trick. Thank you. Hi everyone, in this video we will talk about another metric which can be used for faster calculation. Here we are talking about adding the number in series. So let's start with adding the even number in series. So suppose if I have even numbers. So suppose if I have 2 plus 3, no sorry, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8, and I want to add these numbers. So in that case, all I need to do is calculate or count the number of digits. So there are 4 digits. So I'll just say 4 into 4 plus 1, and that will give me 20, and that's my answer. Let's try it again. If I have uh, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, right? In that case I have 5 digits, so the answer will be equal to 5 into 5 plus 1, that's equal to 30. So that's my answer. Now if I have something else like 12 plus 14 plus 16 plus 18 plus 20, so how will I do that? In that case, I will assume that it starts from 2, and if it starts from 2, then the number of digits will be, so here the number of digits are 1 2 3 4 5, so these are 5 digits, and these are also 5 digits, and these are 5 digits, right? So the total number of digits were 10, so I'll say 10 into 11 minus, I'll, because I don't want 2 4 6 8 and 10 in the series, so I'll subtract these from it, so it's 5 into 6, so that will give me uh, 11 0 minus 30, that is the answer is 80, so that will be my answer. So this is a trick for even numbers. So how about odd numbers? So let's see odd numbers. So in case of odd numbers, the answer is much easier. So suppose if I have 1 plus 3 plus 4, no, plus 5 plus 7. So in that case I have 4 digits. So the answer will be equal to 4 square, that is 16. You can see just a 4 square. Another example, 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, that will be equal to 5 digits. So the answer is 5 square, that is 25. Now if I have something like 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 19, these are also 5 digits, so the answer will be equal to same approach that we used there. So the let me put a line here. So the answer would be equal to um, 10 square minus 5 square, that will be equal to 75. So so you can see that this is how you can add a number in series. Now what about just adding any number in the series? So suppose if I have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, and I want to add them together. So the formula will in that case is, so we are 7 digits, so the answer will be equal to 7 into 7 plus 1 divided by 2, so that is 28. Now this is the formula. So the formula can be written as n plus 1 divided by 2, where n is number of digits, right? Now if I use the approach which we talked about before, so let's look at the odd numbers. We have 1 2 3 and 4, so we have 4 odd numbers. And talk about even numbers, so we have 1 2 and 3, so 3 even numbers. So how can we use that approach? So for odd numbers we just take a square, so 4 square is equal to 16, and for even number we say 3 and 3 plus 1, so that is 12. So if we add this together, then 16 plus 12 is equal to 28, and that's our answer. So this is how we add the number in series. Now how this formula works, so let's look into that. So first of all, you can see that if I have 1, 2 and 3, right? Suppose if I wanna add these three numbers together, so in that case, if I multiply this series by 2, so if I multiply everything by 2, that will become 2 plus 4 plus 6. So that become a number, even number series. So if you take a normal or a regular series and you multiply by 2, that will become a even series, right? So we know that the formula for series is n into n plus 1 divided by 2, and if we wanna multiply this by 2, then the left will be n into n plus 1. So that is how we get the formula for adding anything even in series. So this is even number series, right? So this is how we got the formula. And if you want to see that do we get this formula, then please check out our video which talks about how we add number in series, and the link is provided here. Now suppose if you want to add number in odds, so now look at this series. So this is the even number series, and if you subtract 1 from each number, so minus 1 and minus 1, right? So this will become 1 plus 3 plus 5. So if you subtract 1 from all those digits, then they will become a even or a odd series. So odd number series, right? And this was a even number series. So in that case, what you did is, from the total sum you subtracted the number of ones that is equal to the number of digits. So suppose if I have so we had this as a sum, so from n plus 1, this is a even series, and if you subtract the n from it, that will give us a odd series, so that will be equal to n square. So odd series, because you subtracted n number of ones from the digits to get the odd series. So I hope this video helps and you also understand the concept, and I'll see you again in a next video. Thank you. Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about another math trick which can be used for faster calculation. For example, suppose if I have to multiply 48 and 52, so how will I do that? So if you look at it carefully, this number are symmetrical around 50, so this can be written as 50 minus um, 50 minus 2 square into, no, not square, 50 minus 2 and 50 plus 2, so that will be equal to 50 square minus 2 square. So the answer will be equal to 2496, right? Same way, suppose if I have to do 79 into 81, so the answer will be equal to 80 square minus 1 square, so this will be equal to 6399. Suppose if we have to do it against like suppose 15 into 17, so in that case it will be equal to 16 square minus 1 square, that's equal to 255. Another example is 95 into 105. Here it will be equal to 100 square minus 5 square, so that gives me 9975. So this is how you can use this trick for faster calculation. which for the numbers which seems difficult in the beginning, but if you remember this trick, this can be done very quickly. Okay, I'll see you in the next trick. Thanks. Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about some quick matrix which can be used for faster calculation without using a calculator. So first we will start with the number which are close to 50, and if you want to take a square of that numbers, so for example if we have 48 square, so how will we calculate this number? So if you look at 48, it is close to 50, so it is 50 minus 2 square, right? So in this case what we'll do is we'll subtract 2 from 25 and then we'll do 2 square, so the answer will be equal to 2304. Another way, another example is like 46 square. In this case we'll subtract 4 from 25 and do 4 square, so the answer will be equal to 2104 or 2116. Let's take another example. If I have 53 square, then in this case it will be 25 plus 3 and then 3 square, so the answer will be equal to 2809. How this trick works, so let's look on the left side. So if we have something close to 50, it can be written as 50 plus x square, and 50 plus x square can be written as 2500 plus 100x plus x square, or that will be equal to 25 plus x into 100 plus x square. So now as you can see that if x is equal to 3, then what I'm doing is I'm adding 25 plus 3, right, and then I'm adding 3 square, so the answer is equal to 2809. So this is how this trick works. It's based on a plus b whole square. I hope this trick helps. I'll see you in the next trick. Thanks. Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about another math trick which can be used for faster calculation. Today we'll talk about how to square any 3-digit number without using a calculator. So let me begin with the example. So suppose if I have 206 and I want to square this number, so how will I do that? So in that case, first I'll look at the first digit and I will take a square of digit. So the square of 2 is 4, so 2 square is 4. Then I'll take the last digit and I'll take a square of that digit, so square of 6 is 36, right? And now to get the middle numbers, what I'll do is I'll multiply 2 and 6, this 2 and 6, and then I'll multiply again with 2, and that will be 6 into 4 24, so that will be the answer. Let me take another example. So suppose if I have 409 and I want to do a square, in that case 4 square is equal to 16, 9 square is equal to 81, and 4 into 9 into 2, so 9 into 8, that is 72, so the answer is 167281, so that's our answer. Now if we have something which is more uh, bigger, or I will give you example of a carryover. So now suppose if I have 825 and I want to do a square of this number, so this will be little different. So here the approach will be same. So 8 square, so 8 square is 64, and then 25 square, 25 square is 625, right? So we'll write 25, and then we have to write a 6 here, because we can only use the two digits in the end. Now if we multiply 8, 25 and 2, that will be 400. So we can only write two zeros here, and I have to write a 4 here. Why? Because we can only take the two digits. So now if we add them together, then it will be 6, and 4 plus 4 is 8, 0, 6 plus 0 is 6, and 25. So that will be my answer. So if you practice, then you can always do this calculation without even writing it on the paper. Now how this trick works, so let's look into it. So any three digit number can be written as in the following form: 100 x plus y. So if x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 6, then it will be 306, right? Now if I need to square this number, so in that case it will be equal to 10,000 x square plus 200 xy plus y square. Now you can see that we have four zeros for x square, two zeros for 2xy, and no zeros for y square. So if we add them together, so it will look something like that: x square 0 0 0 0, right? And then we have 2xy 0 0. So this 2xy will go onto the next two digits here, right? And then we have y square, which will go here. So because there is a 0 here, so the y square can occupy this two digits in the end. So again, if I have x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 11, then you can see that uh, 9 square is 81. So there is no limit for x square here, right? And then we have 2xy, so 2 into 9 into 11, so that will be equal to 18 into 11, and that will be equal to 198. So we'll have 198, and then we have y square, so 11 square is 121, so 21 and 1 here, right? So in that case the answer would be equal to 899921. So that's your answer. So I hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next metric. Thank you.
So this trick will give you approximate value for your return time which will take for you to get a particular return. So suppose if you have investment of I and you want this investment to grow to 3i after certain time t, and the rate of interest right now, so rate is r. So by using this trick we can calculate how much time will it take, and the trick is simple. So the trick is that you take a number 115 and you divide it by r, and that will give you the time for investment to be three times. So three times. So for example, if interest rate is 10%, then time will be equal to 11.5 years. So this is the approximate time. If interest rates are 1%, then time would be equal to 115 years. So why this happens? So let's try to solve this problem with the um, journal solution, journal approach. The journal approach is to have your investment, and we multiply this investment with the interest rate, and each year it is compounded, so we have raised to power t, and that should be equal to 3i, because we are looking for investment to grow 3 times. So in that case, your I will cancel out, and we're left with uh, 1 plus r raised to power t is equal to 3. So if we solve this equation, we can take log on both sides. So if we take log 1 plus r t is equal to log of 3. So t is equal to log of 3 divided by log of 1 plus r. So let's try to solve this equation in Excel. So if I go to Excel, I can say, suppose r is my rate, and we have the rate varies from 2, 3, 4, and our time will be equal to log of 3 divided by log of 1 plus rate, right? So this should be our time. So now we can keep extending this rate to suppose 13%, and we can calculate the time for investment to be 3 times for all this years. So that's how we get the time. So now if you multiply time with the rate, so that will be equal to time into rate. So this is equal to 110, which is very close to 115. So we can keep extending this, and you can see that all our numbers are very close to 115. So this is what we can, that's why we can approximate the time by just using 115 as a reference and dividing it by the rate. You can also do it with the 114, but somehow this trick got the name of 115. So let's try to see, but if we have used the trick, what should be the time? So the time uh, using trick would be like this. So we have uh, 115 divided by rate, so that's 57.5 years. So if you can keep extending it, it's like this. So if you compare anything, like for 6 years it says 18.85 years, but our trick says 19.16 years. So it is a good approximation. So this is very close. It's 111.52, and this is 11.5. So if you use this trick, we don't get the exact number, but we get the approximation for the time it should take, and that could be very handy when you are thinking about different investments, and you wanna get a quick sense, or wanna get quick numbers in your mind. So I hope this video helps, and I'll try to make more videos, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about another math trick which can be used for faster calculation. For example, if we have to multiply 64 and 5. So another way to write this same number is by 64 into 10 by 2. And a lot of time we cannot think of that uh, for the calculation. So in that case it is very easy. Half of 64 is 32. So the answer is 32 and a 0. So it's 320. Again, if I have to multiply 78 by 5. So the answer will be equal to half of 78, which is 39, and then a 0. So that's 390. Again, if I have 128 and want to multiply by 5, that will be equal to 64 and a 0, and that's your answer. Another trick is to multiply by 25. So if I have to multiply 64 by 25, then we can write this as 64 into 10 by 2 into 10 by 2. So we have to take half of 64 two times. So in that case, half of 64 is 32, half of 32 is 16. The answer is 1600. Again, if I have 128 and want to multiply by 25, in that case it will be equal to half of 128 64, and half of 64 is 32. It's 3200. um, Again, let's go to one more trick. If we have to multiply by 125, so how do I multiply by 125? So I'll take example. So 128 I want to multiply by 125, then that can be written as 128 into 10 by 2 into 10 by 2 into 10 by 2. So we have to divide 28 by 2 three times, or we can divide it by 8. So if we divide 128 by 2, that is 64, and half of 64 is 32, and half 32 is 16. So the answer will be equal to 1600 and one more 0. So this trick may not be very convenient a lot of times, because dividing something by 8 is not very easy sometimes, but it could be handy at certain times. Um, Now let's do another thing. If we have to multiply 120 by 15, so how will I do that? In that case, what I'll do is I'll take half of 20. Half of 20 is 60, and then I'll add that into 120. So this is equal to 120 by 2. Right? So here that will be equal to 180. Then I put one more 0. Then so that's my answer. So again, if I have 100 and 180 to multiply by 15, that will be equal to half of 80 is 90 plus 180. So 18 and 9, that's equal to 27. Two zeros in the end. So that's our answer. So I hope this trick helped, and I'll see you in the next trick. Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about another math trick which can be used for faster calculation. Here we are dividing a number by 5. So suppose if I have 32 and I want to divide it by 5. So if you look at it, it looks little complicated, but a easy way to do this is doing this: 32 into 2 divided by 10. So that will be equal to 64, and then a decimal, so it's 6.4. So all you have to do is take a double of numerator and then put a decimal there. So another example is suppose if I have 16, I want to divide by 5. So the answer is 2 times 16 is 32, and then put a decimal here. So that's your answer. Again, if I have 104, now to divide by 5. So what would be the answer? 2 times 104 is 208, then a decimal here. That's your answer. Again, if I have to divide by 25, so suppose if I have 16 and want to divide by 25, so how will I go about this? In that case, I can write it as 16 into 10 into, sorry, 2 into 2 divided by 100, right? So here, what's double of 16 is 32, and then 32 double is 64, so the answer is 0.64. Again, if I have 4 divided by 25, so that will be equal to 4 into double of 4 is 8, and double of 8 is 16.16. uh, Again, another example is if I have um, 44 to divide by 25, so 44 into 4, that's what we have to do. So 44 into 2 is 88, and 88 into 2, that will be equal to 1 1676. So answer will be equal to 1.76. Another example will be to divide by 125. So if I have 4 and I want to divide by 125, so how will I do that? In that case, that will be equal to 4 into 2 into 2 into 2 divided by 1000. So 4 into 8 is 32. So we have 32, and we put a 0 here. So that's our answer. Again, if I have uh, 20 and want to divide by 125, so 2 into 8 is 16. So add 16 here, and then I have one more 0 here, but then I can do this. So this will be my answer. So I hope this trick helped, and I'll see you in the next trick. Thanks.
Hello everyone. In this video we'll talk about the rule of 72. This is a handy metric when it comes to exam or for day-to-day calculations. So let me start. So suppose if we have an investment of I and we want this investment to grow to 2I. So we want our investment to be double, and the interest rate in the market is equal to R, right? So we want to know how much time will it take for this investment to be 2 times, and there are certain ways to calculate this, but if you use this trick, the approximate time can be calculated very easily, and the time will be equal to 72 divided by R. So for example, if rate is 10, then time will be equal to 7.2 years. If rate is 20, then time will be equal to 3.6 years. So how this rule works? So let's try to solve this problem in a regular way. So in regular way, we have to say that we know that um, our suppose we have investment I, and we have interest rate 1 plus R, right? And so we invested it for n years, so it will be t here. So that should be equal to 2I, right? So this is our initial investment, and then we have an interest rate every year, and this is compounded every year, so that will become 2I after certain time, right? And we want to calculate what the time should be, right? So now if we solve this equation, then so I will be cancelled out by another I. So this will cancel out, and then we have 1 plus R to power t is equal to 2. So further, if you take log on both sides, so it will be t uh, log of 1 plus R is equal to log of 2. or t is equal to log of 2 divided by log of 1 plus r, right? So now if I go to Excel and try to solve this equation, so let me go to Excel, and so now suppose if we have r, and so it is, we start with 2 3 4 5. So this is the rate of interest. So right, and then we have time. So time should be equal to, as we calculated before, log of 2 divided by log of 1 plus uh, by 100, because this is in the percentage, right? So it says 35 years, right? So we can keep doing this, and we can also generate a table for all the r's and these numbers, right? So now if you look here, then if you multiply time with r, that will be equal to 2 into 35, so that is 70.0056. So this is very close to 72. So if you keep doing this, you will see that all the numbers are close to 72. So 70.3, 70.6, 71. So if we approximate the number to be 72, then all we need to do is, so if I use the same approach, so if I use our trick, then instead of using 70, I'll always 70.005, I will use always 72. So I keep using 72 for all these rates, and then I'll calculate the time. Time will be equal to 72 divided by rate. So now you can see that I get numbers which are very close to the actual time it should be. So it's so suppose here it is 11.89, but here I get 12. Here is 10.244, I get 10.28. So this is a good approximation. Instead of doing this complicated calculation, we can just get approximation using this trick. So I hope this video make sense to you and it's useful, and we'll come up with more tricks in more upcoming videos. Thank you.
Hi guys, today I will tell you a easy way to do a square of any two-digit number near 50. Let's start first with the 50. 50 square is 2500. If I have to do a square of 49, all I have to do is subtract 1 from 25, that will be 24, and add a square of 1, that is 2401. Similarly, 48 square will be subtracting 2 from 25, that is 23, and 2 square is 4, so 2304. If I have to do the 45 square, I will subtract 5 from 25, that is 20, and take a square of 5, that is 25, it will be 2025. 41 square will be 25 minus 9, that will be 16, and 9 square is 81, so 1681. Similarly, if you want to do a square of number above 50, then you have to, instead of subtracting, you have to add it. So 53 square will be 25 plus 3, that is 2809. Similarly, 56 square is equal to 25 plus 6, 31, and 36. With this formula, let's take an example. Suppose we have a number which is something like this: 50 minus x whole square. So x can be 1, 2, 3, or any number. So if I derive it, it will be 2500 plus x square minus 100x. Now it can be again written as 25 minus x into 100 plus x square. Now
if I have to do the 45 square, it's simple. I have to write 25 minus 5 into 100 plus 5 square. This is equal to 20, 25. And I have to do the 55 square. Then I have to just write x is equal to minus 5, and then I can do 20. I can do 25 plus 5 into 100 plus 5 square. That will be equal to 3000 plus 5 square is equal to 30, 25. So this was the uh, how do I come up with this technique. But if you use the technique, it will be much simpler to do the square of any number which is near 50. Thank you.